Hey, Mr. Bailiff. How you doing, man?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I understand, man. I know you think you're doing a.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
And let's get out the street
It's all good.
and I know you believe that you're doing a lawful thing, man. But you know, under your oath of office, under the Constitution, under statutes, codes, and ordinances, the bank never owned this property. The owner of this property is a living, breathing man.
Mm-hmm.
The court can only deal with corporations. You actually got you out here committing a felony on behalf of a corporation that is in non-existent. They are bankrupt, they're insolvent, they have no jurisdiction on the lands of the people. They're taking the lands of the people by fraudulent conversion. There's no lawful authority. You don't even have a delegation of authority to act at this point right now. You have no warrant for execution of any of this supported by any affidavit backed by Congress, which you could never get. Thereby, your officers, your commanders, your subordinates are asking you to commit crimes against humanity, against the natural people who are not corporations, who are not United States citizens. We are Americans, which are separate powers, the separation of powers, which is not being upheld. And as an officer of the court, you are thereby committing an act of treason, which would be an avoidance of the Constitution. And there's nothing in your oath of office that you have taken to uphold that Constitution, which makes you a judicial officer. By the acts that you're committing right now, you not only could be committing a fraudulent claims upon the court, but you are also committing acts within that you may not even be aware of. And whoever is supporting these acts that they sent you out here to commit and to adhere to, because what you deem to know to be law, which is legal, this is legal, not lawful, and there's a separation of legal and lawful. And if you know anything about the law, you know there's a difference between legal and lawful, and this is totally unlawful. And the Walkers, who have been here for almost 20 years, who have a foundation here, who have made this their temple of existence and their domicile, have been not afforded equal protection under the law, under due process, with no real jurisdiction, trial, or anything. As a matter of fact, the courts that are operating under, they are courts of equity. They are not operating under the Constitution. They are Article 1 courts. They are not Article 3 courts. They are not even recognized under the federal statutes as even being a court. They are courts of equity. They are only supposed to be dealing with corporations, not living persons, okay? The fact that any judge that gives an order to remove a sovereign national, an American national, from his premises without due process under the constitutional fold is warring against the Constitution. That is an act of treason. Anything that is repugnant to the Constitution is void on its face. If my friend and neighbor were to bring you into federal court under the rules and regulations, federal rules of civil procedure, you could lose. He could put a commercial claim on your property that would disavow you from owning any property or being an officer of the court in any jurisdiction anywhere for the rest of your life. Not only that, you could be imprisoned by the actions of the people who sent you out here to do this injustice. Now, according to you and your understanding, because you have not made any statements, you either understand what I'm saying, you either admit or deny what I'm saying is untrue, because your silence is absolutely saying that what I'm saying is true, because you have not responded, and I'm giving you as an officer of the court as an officer of the branch of the United States, you are not authorized. You have never been authorized. Your office has never been authorized to operate outside of the District of Columbia, which is a 10-mile radius. And then when you go backwards, it's within Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Virgin Islands. That does not bring you into the 50 Union States of the Republic. That it's repugnant to the Constitution, and you could go to jail, my friend. I don't want to see that happen to you. I know you. I don't know you personally. I know you see my face and you've seen me around. I'm a barber in this community. I have a nonprofit organization. I've been attacked by public officials myself. I'm in the process right now of bringing claim and suit to several public officials for the incompetency and the untrained minds of the individuals who will usurp the people, who will take the people land over statutes, codes, and ordinances where they have no viable jurisdiction to do so. They're acting outside of the confines of law. They have no standing in court. And any judicial officer that would face me in an open court as a living, breathing man, which they cannot do because they have no place in the court. And if you look at the original 13th Amendment, you would see that they are bankrupt entities ever since 1933. They're acting outside of their lawful authority. And all I'm asking you, and I know that I feel that you are doing something that you feel that is lawful. It is not lawful. It is very unlawful. And your whoever you are receiving your orders from, whether it be the governor, whether it be the county clerk, whether it be Jessica Cooper, or whether it be the Queen of England, you are out of order. You are definitely out of order. And we are not going to sit back and stand as a people and be usurped out of our lands and our property. You and many of the public officials that have been doing the things that they have been entrusted to, the public trust for the people, not for the corporation, but for the people, need to understand this. They need to understand that the people are the sovereigns. The property of the people does not belong to the United States. The United States is separate, a separate form of government that only supposed to deal with corporations. If there's no loss to life and there's no damage to property, there is no case. You cannot bring a claim against a living person if there's no injured party. And the bank can never be injured because there is no money. The United States has been bankrupt since 1933. That means every obligation of the American citizen is the responsibility, full faith and credit of the United States. That means you, as a United States federal citizen, has no right, no constitutional right, no universal right, no, you are breaking universal laws, you are breaking constitutional laws, you're going against the grain of the Constitution that you took an oath to uphold, and you're breaking the law, sir.
Well noted.
Thank you.
Can we go?
Let that nigga hack. I got y'all on record. That nigga shook my hand. He said, well noted. I let it know, cuz. Nigga.
That was too much.
Nigga.
That was too much in 10 minutes for him to take that.
He stood silent. He interrupted me not once. He getting the fuck out of there.
All right, Cameron in that car. I just took the key out.
What's up?
He's driving. I had to think about it. I had to go back and get the key out. I'm like, hell no. Not 2 seconds. Hell, my God. The other thing.
ncpc.org/mortgage fraud. This message is from the National Fraud Prevention Council and U.S. Department of Justice.
The 2014
Not if you step up to relief with the power of two for Preparation H.
Back.
Preparation H medicated wipes as soon as they clean. Then Preparation H maximum 3 to relieve.
Barely got money. I ain't got nothing now. Anyways, I thought you just had some.
Don't stand for hemorrhoids.
Gas station got some. 69
When it
cents.
comes to wireless, there are ways it should be and ways it shouldn't. At Metro PCS,
4
we
for
think
350.
everyone should have a 4G phone. So, we're having a 29 for all sale. Every 4G phone is $29 after rebate. They should not be relics. They should be 4G phones like the 4G Samsung Galaxy Exhibit.